All right, welcome on in everyone to another episode of First CSP, the channel dedicated to bringing you the first council shoulder patch issued from each council in Scouting America, both past and present. Today we're going to take a look at Michigan Crossroads Council 780. This council was originally formed in 2012. I believe it essentially merged the councils that consisted, I think about 9 councils that consisted of the lower peninsula of Michigan. And then later in 2025, Hiawatha Land was the Upper Peninsula Council, and that was added into Michigan Crossroads. So I now believe Michigan Crossroads represents all of Michigan. You can certainly correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on that, but when they first started the council in 2012, they merged all 9 former councils in the Lower Peninsula, but then subdivided into the field service councils, and then later dissolve the field service councils, and it's all just Michigan Crossroads. So with that, let's head on over to the patch table and look at the first issue for Michigan Crossroads Council, which did come from, I believe, 2012. We've got the S1 with its black border, light blue sky, green fleur-de-lis, which is kind of ghosted in the grass over here, and white name. Really nice clean patch. I am a fan of this Michigan Crossroads S1. Really like how the beach here obviously is the Lower Peninsula for Michigan, or represents that. Taking a look at the back, we've got a plastic Scout backing here for the S1. I will note that the first issue here, black border, is a discrepancy between what is now recognized as the first issue, shown here on the screen, and what the Gilwell First CSP site, a site that we often have referenced as another resource for First CSP collectors, shows for Michigan Crossroads Council. I believe this is because they put on the Gilwell First CSP site the first CSP they obtained an image for, and this was right around when that website stopped updating, I believe. And so the first one that they got an image for Michigan Crossroads Council is a blue mylar border of this patch. That is now recognized in the collecting guide as the SA2. So just to note, if you went to Gilwell First CSP and you try and look up the first issue for Michigan Crossroads, you're going to see a very similar patch with a blue mylar border. That has been identified now as the SA2, and the black border has been identified as the first issue. Essentially what I think became the understanding was, as is sometimes the case, a council produces several CSPs at once. They then have to order, okay, well, which one are we going to consider the first? Generally what they default to is the larger numbered issue that was produced is the first, and then more reduced number issues end up being second, third as well. So that's kind of what happened here. For the S1, they list approximately 200 of these were made initially. The SA2 blue mylar that you see on Gilwell First CSP, they made about 100 of. That's what the guide estimates. And then they made another one with a blue mylar that is specifically numbered on the patch. They made 20 of those. They call that the SA3. So that's how things ended up sorting out over time. Unfortunately, the Gilwell First CSP site stopped being updated, and so never became current with what is now recognized in the ISCA collecting guide for the first issue of Michigan Crossroads. And that is this episode of First CSP. Again, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. If so, feel free to give it a like, subscribe, send it to your friends. We are almost to about halfway through of all First CSPs. We're keeping it rolling, and we really appreciate you guys tuning in, and hope you enjoy the content. I want to thank you all for stopping in, making us a small part of your day. We'll be back again tomorrow with another brand new episode, but until then, hope you guys have a great rest of your day.